Well, a good evening, good evening. What's going on? All pro wrestling fans of all shapes and sizes from all around the world. Welcome to another live edition Pro Wrestling Talk, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming. I am your host, your MC for this evening, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. It is Tuesday night, November 25th of 2025. Hope everybody's week has gotten off to a good start. As you know, we have arrived at the week of Thanksgiving. Hope everybody is doing well. I know many may be finalizing some traveling plans and, getting stuff pre-made for Thanksgiving feast, and definitely looking forward to Thanksgiving. Of course, spend time with family and friends and whatnot. And I hope everybody else gets that opportunity as well, to spend time with your families and friends. So, I really wanted to dive into some pro wrestling talk tonight. Mainly, once again, pro wrestling tournament season is alive and well. And I mean very well. Got quite a lot to talk about. We got a couple of tournaments going on, and we actually got a tournament getting ready to start very soon as tomorrow. So, definitely got a lot to talk there. Going to be talking about a couple of different tournaments. Of course, the 15th Goddess of Stardom Tag League, which in just a couple of days it will reach its epic conclusion. So, going to really talk about that. Going to talk a little bit about two other women's tournaments that are currently going on. You got the ROH Women's Pure Championship Tournament, which we almost have the semifinals set for that tournament. So it's coming up. It's coming up. Also, gonna talk a little bit more about the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship Tournament, as the semifinals for that is set. And we got a tournament that is getting ready to start tomorrow, which is the third ever AEW Continental Classic. That's right. We've already got two in the books. This year will make number 3, and the list of competitors, so it's a good list, and it should be another big tournament, as AEW Full Gear is in the books, and now we make our way down the road to AEW World's End, which that's the last big show of the year for AEW. So quite a lot to look forward to when it comes to pro wrestling tournaments. It's a lot. It's a lot. And also, I'm also going to go over ESPN. Just recently posted their 30 under 30 list, which has to do with the top 30 pro wrestlers under 30 years of age. So I definitely want to go over that list, talk about that list. And then also want to talk about Wrestlecade, that is coming up this weekend. Every year, right after Thanksgiving, is Wrestlecade in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, at the Benton Convention Center. If you're a big fan of pro wrestling, I highly recommend checking it out. It's a 3-day event, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Tons of pro wrestlers that do meet and greets. I mean, photos, autographs. You can chat with them. Also, they got different panels as well, and they got a couple of different shows that'll be going on as well, which I'll get into a little bit later. But I usually do Wrestlecade every year. I believe this will be my 5th or 6th Wrestlecade. I've lost count, but I'm looking so forward to that, and I'll talk more about that later in the stream. But let's dive into some pro wrestling tournament talk. Okay, so Gonna start off a little small and then work our way up to the meat and potatoes, to the big portions. Sound good? So first off, we're gonna talk about the two current women's tournaments going on here in the States. So first, I want to bring up the ROH Women's Pure Championship tournament, as I know that's been slowly making its reign, but the semifinals for this tournament is almost set. It's almost set, but I must say it is looking to be quite interesting. So you know what? Let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket so far. All right, check it out. Okay, this is the current tournament bracket for the ROH Women's Pure Championship. So the semifinals is almost completely set. We do know one of the semifinal matches will be Queen Aminata versus the virtuosa Deonna Purrazzo. Of course, Queen Aminata defeated Taya Valkyrie in the first round. You had Deonna Purrazzo defeat Trish Adora in the first round. Now, I know Queen Aminata had been dealing with injury, so I'm still hoping that she'll still be good to compete in this match, because definitely looking forward to seeing her and Deonna Purrazzo go at it. I know she just recently, a while back, became DPW Women's World Champion. I was there for that. It was a great match. But yeah, very much looking forward to that match. And then you got Billy Starks, one of Athena's minions, who was able to defeat Olympia in the first round. So she punched her ticket to the semifinals. And right now, she currently awaits the winner between the Professor, Serena Deeb, and the magical girl, Yuka Sakazaki, which I believe this Thursday they will be wrapping that up and sealing the semifinal matchups. To be honest with you, just looking at this, with Serena Deeb, Yuka Sakazaki, personally, either one of those two ladies could win, but I truly feel like Serena Deeb should get this victory. You know, just thinking about ROH Women's Pure rules, or pure for this Pure Championship, I just think it's more better fitting for wrestlers like Deonna Purrazzo and Serena Deeb. You know what I mean? So, to be honest, I believe that Serena Deeb will defeat Yuka Sakazaki to advance to the semifinals. So I'm predicting it'll be Billy Starks versus Serena Deeb. As far as who I believe, I'll go ahead and talk about who I believe will make it to the finals and essentially win the whole thing. So I'm going to go ahead and predict that Deonna Purrazzo defeats Queen Aminata. And I think Deonna will advance to the finals of this tournament. And I believe Serena Deeb defeats Billy Starks to advance to the finals as well. So I am predicting a Deonna Purrazzo versus Serena Deeb finals. The Virtuosa versus the Professor. Honestly, I think it's a very fitting finals for this tournament, considering the type of tournament it is. So I think it's going to be Deonna Purrazzo versus Serena Deeb. Now, between those two, that's a tough call. That's a really tough call. It could really go either way. But considering that it's really been a long time since Serena Deeb has held a singles championship, a big part of me can see Serena Deeb winning this tournament. I could definitely see her winning this tournament and becoming the first ROH Women's Pure Champion. Although I don't hate the idea of Deonna Purrazzo winning and becoming the first champion as well. But I think just being that Serena Deeb hasn't won a singles title in a long time, I think it would be fitting for her to win this tournament. But if I were to pick a sleeper, so if not Serena Deeb and if not Deonna Purrazzo, then, I hate to say it, but Billy Starks could end up winning this tournament and becoming the first ROH Women's Pure Champion. I mean, I'd rather it not be her. And don't get me wrong, I like Billy Starks. I mean, I pretty much like everybody in this tournament. I don't really know Olympia like that, but, for the most part, I've liked everybody in this tournament. I just really feel a much fitting inaugural champ to hold this belt. I truly believe it should be either Serena Deeb or Deonna Purrazzo. I think even just out of the whole list of ladies in this tournament, I think it should really be Deonna Purrazzo or Serena Deeb. But like I said, you never know. You never know what could happen. And I do believe that they are on schedule to have the finals of this tournament at Final Battle. Which Final Battle, let me pull it up. Final Battle will be next Friday, December 5th, at the Greater Columbus Convention Center in Columbus, Ohio, as part of GalaxyCon in Columbus, which I think that's pretty cool. I know in Raleigh, North Carolina, they have GalaxyCon Raleigh, so it's pretty cool that they're doing Final Battle as part of GalaxyCon Columbus. I think that's really cool. I think that's very cool. So that should be fun. But yeah, that's next Friday, and that should be when they have the finals of the ROH Women's Pure Championship Tournament. And, they got some other title matches so far. Athena's going to defend the ROH Women's World Championship against Persephone. So we got that to look forward to. Shane Taylor Promotions is going to defend the ROH World Six-Man Tag Team titles against Skyflight, which that's Scorpio Sky, and Top Flight, which is Dante Martin, Darius Martin. That should be a lot of fun. And I believe Lee Moriarty is going to be defending the ROH Pure Championship, I think against Commander? I think it's against Commander. Actually, you know what? Let me look that up. Because I think that is who... I'm pretty sure that's who he's going up against. Hold on, bear with me just a moment. Here we go. Yeah, I was right. So, ROH Pure Championship, Lee Moriarty defending against Commander. That should be interesting. That should be really interesting. We're also going to have Ricochet defending the AEW National Championship as well at Final Battle. Of course, he became the inaugural champion at Full Gear. So, we got a couple of championship matches so far. We're going to have an inaugural champion with the Women's Pure Championship. So, little by little, slowly shaping up. But at the same time, there's only 5 matches booked so far. So, we'll see what happens. But, yeah, should be good. And, like I said, this Thursday is when they will have Serena Deeb versus Yuka Sakazaki to wrap up the first round. So, we'll see what happens. Alrighty. let's go on to the next tournament we want to talk about. And that's the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship Tournament. Let's take a quick look at that. Okay, so with this, we know our semifinal matchups. So, our semifinal matchups come down to the Sisters of Sin, which are Julia Hart and Sky Blue, versus the Babes of Wrath, that's Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron. And then on the other side, we have the Timeless Love Bombs of Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa, and they will take on the deadly combination of Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir. Now, they just recently had a Fatal 4-Way tag team match at AEW Full Gear to determine who would get to pick the stipulation for their semifinal matchup. And the Timeless Love Bombs ended up winning that match. So that means for their match against Megan Bayne, Marina Shafir, they get to pick the stipulation. Now, to be honest with you, I think they're really just drawing this out a little too much, because I really felt like the match itself was pointless, but, you know, they're just drawing out this tournament, which I'm pretty sure, I'm guessing they're going to have the finals of this tournament perhaps at World's End, which at the same time is a little bit of a bummer, because I know some fans were hoping that, just like with the AEW Continental Classic, that they were going to do one for the women as well, but that's not going to be the case this year, unfortunately. Would have been nice, but I think that's something that they're probably going to do next year. I could see them doing a men's and women's Continental Classic next year, but it's a bummer. But this is what we have here. So I'm guessing that tomorrow, perhaps Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa will come up with the stipulation. I haven't heard any word if there was one said already. I don't think there was one. But they get to choose the stipulation for their match against Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir. To be honest, I'm going to go ahead and say who I think is going to advance to the finals and who's going to win this whole thing. Personally, some way, somehow, I think the Sisters of Sin are going to upset the Babes of Wrath. I just have that feeling. So I'm picking the Sisters of Sin to advance to the finals. And then I am picking Toni Storm, Mina Shirakawa, the Timeless Love Bombs. I'm picking them to upset, well, many, you know, it is kind of fair to say upset Marina Shafir, Megan Bayne. And like I said, once again, shout out to Megan Bayne on pulling double duty with her schedule, being in this tournament as well as the Goddesses of Stardom Tag League in Japan. I mean, she's a beast for taking on all that. So shout out to Megasis for doing that. But I think this is where Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir end up losing. So I am going with the Sisters of Sin versus the Timeless Love Bombs in the finals. And I am picking the Timeless Love Bombs to win this tournament and become the inaugural AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions. So, Toni Storm, Mina Shirakawa, those are my picks. It's been an interesting tournament so far. I will say that. It's been a pretty interesting tournament. I mean, the Sisters of Sin defeated Queen Aminata and Jamie Hayter in the first round, despite Jamie Hayter and Queen Aminata having their choice of stipulation, or no, having their choice of opponents. they had their choice of opponents, and they picked them, but they ended up losing. So, and then the Babes of Wrath, many may say was an upset, defeating the super combo of Mercedes Moné and Athena in the first round. But of course, Chris Statlander had a little something to do with that. Toni Storm, Mina Shirakawa, the Timeless Love Bombs, defeating Alex Windsor and Riho in the first round. Which, that was a solid match, by the way. That was a really solid match. But, the right team won. And then, while Taiji may be the team with the most experience together as a team in this tournament, it was really hard to put them over Megan Bayne, Marina Shafir. I mean, that was just a super colossal combo, and it just wasn't enough to defeat Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir. So that's how I see that. But like I said, these semifinalists, it's not that much of a surprise. So, but we will find out how this goes. I believe tomorrow. I think tomorrow at least one of the semifinal matchups is going to happen. Yeah. So one of them will be tomorrow. And it will be... Okay, so they're going to do the Babes of Wrath versus the Sisters of Sin tomorrow. Yeah, they're going to do that match tomorrow. And I'm guessing perhaps they're going to do Marina Shafir, Megan Bayne versus the Timeless Love Bombs. Maybe on Collision. Oh, they're doing a Thursday night Thanksgiving Collision special. So they might do it then, but I don't know. I have to look at the schedule because, I'm sure Megan Bayne's going to need to get back to Japan so she can finish out the rest of the Goddesses of Stardom Tag League. But we'll see. But that's how it's looking so far. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's go into the Goddesses of Stardom Tag League. Well, actually, you know what? Nah, check that. Let's go ahead and, since we're still on the topic of AEW, let's go ahead and go over the current competitors for the announced competitors for the Continental Classic. All right, let me get the graphics up and ready. So the AEW Continental Classic, this is the third one ever. Of course, Eddie Kingston won the first one. Kazuchika Okada won last year's. And the main thing with this tournament is that the Continental Championship is on the line, which is technically part of the AEW Unified Championship. So, being that Kazuchika Okada is the Unified Champion, each one of his matches, he will be defending the title. So, at least we know, by default, Okada is one of the participants. But, let's go ahead and look at both blocks. So, we got the Blue League and we got the Gold League. Let's take a look at the Blue League first. Alright, so, your participants for the Blue League. There you have it. So, 6 competitors are the current IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, Konosuke Takeshita. You have Jon Moxley of the Death Riders. You have Claudio Castagnoli of the Death Riders. You got freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy of the Conglomeration. You have Roddy versus the World, Roderick Strong of Paragon / conglomeration, I guess. And you have Mascara Dorada. So those are your Blue League competitors. Pretty interesting set here. And special shout out to Claudio Castagnoli, as he has been in all 3 Continental Classic tournaments. So shout out to Claudio. So pretty cool. But yeah, this one right here is interesting, being that you got 2 of the Death Riders on this in this bracket. Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, Mascara Dorada, Takeshita. To be honest, and I know Moxley was a runner-up from the first Continental Classic, so definitely Jon Moxley's definitely a threat on this side of the bracket. I would definitely say the 2 biggest threats are Takeshita and Moxley. Orange Cassidy will probably do a little bit of damage, and maybe even Roderick Strong, but to be honest, I don't see Mascara Dorada getting a lot of points. And, maybe Claudio will do a little bit of damage, but honestly, from this block, I'm thinking it's going to come down to either Jon Moxley or Konosuke Takeshita, but I am rolling with Takeshita to win the Blue League and advance to the finals. So, that's my pick for the Blue League for the AEW Continental Classic, going with Konosuke Takeshita. All right, now let's take a look at the Gold League. All right, kind of an interesting lineup for the Gold League. So we got Darby Allin, we got Pac from the Death Riders, we got both members of Jet Speed in the Jet Kevin Knight and Speedball Mike Bailey. We have the Protostar, former TNT champion Kyle Fletcher. And you have the reigning champion, the AEW Unified Champion, which is a combination of the International Championship and the Continental Championship, the Rainmaker himself, Kazuchika Okada. So, here's the interesting thing. Personally, I definitely think the 3 main threats are Darby Allin, Kyle Fletcher, and Okada. I don't really see a lot happening from Pac and Jet Speed. But honestly, I'm going to just go ahead and say it. I'm predicting Okada to win the Gold League and advance to the finals. And I think we're going to get Takeshita Okada at World's End in the finals. I think that's the obvious setup that they're going with. And that's why they are in opposite brackets. So I think, in all honesty, I think it's apparent that they're going to do Okada, Takeshita in the finals of this tournament at World's End. And I think that's when, I'm pretty sure that's going to be where Takeshita dethrones Okada. And maybe that's when Takeshita may leave the Don Callis family. I mean, he's still officially part of the Don Callis family. But I truly think this is all setting up for Okada, Takeshita in the finals. I mean, and of course that would entail that Okada would have to go undefeated. But then again, not necessarily, because the title is going to be on the line the entire time throughout this tournament. So it's funny, Okada could lose the title and yet still win it back during the tournament and still make it to the finals. It's crazy. It's crazy, isn't it? but it's still very possible. So that's what the deal is with this tournament, having this title on the line every match. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm going Okada Takeshita in the finals, with Takeshita dethroning Okada at World's End. So, and as usual with this tournament, it's 3 points for a win, 0 points for a loss, 1 point for a draw. So, and like I said, Okada being the champion, or whoever's the champion at the time, when they have their match, they're putting the title on the line each time. So, that's the breakdown of the AEW Continental Classic. Yeah, this is the third one ever. And like I said, we'll see what happens. I do think, if I remember correctly, I believe they're going to have this semi... Wait. Actually, let me check to make sure. Because I think I heard word... Let me make sure. Let me just make sure. So I'm guessing that let's see. Okay, so the way this is going to go down is okay. So the winners of the blocks would face the runner-ups of the opposite blocks. So, okay. That's right. So it's the top two winners. So it's the top two winners from each league that will advance. And the way it works is the number one seed of the blue league will face the number two seed of the gold league, and the number two seed of the blue league would face the number one seed of the gold league. And I believe they're going to do those matchups and the finals at World's End. So yeah. So it's the top two from each league that advance. Cool deal. So with that being the case, so I have to pick two. I guess if I were to pick two, all right, you know what? Let's do this. If I were to pick a top two, to be honest, on the blue league, I'm thinking top two is either going to be Takeshita and Moxley or Takeshita and Orange Cassidy. That's what I'm thinking for top two of the blue league. For the gold league, I'm thinking it's either going to be a combination of Okada and Kyle Fletcher or Okada and Darby Allin. I'm thinking perhaps Okada, Darby Allin, but I don't know. It's hard to say. It's really hard to say. But I'm picking Okada, both Okada and Takeshita to win the number one seeds of their blocks, so that they don't face each other in the semis. So that's how I'm predicting it. But I'm picking Takeshita to win the whole thing. I think he wins the whole thing. But we'll see what happens. Um, okay. Okay. So now that we got that out of the way, now let's switch gears to the Stardom Goddesses of Stardom Tag League. The 15th Goddesses of Stardom Tag League. We're in the final week. It's coming down to the wire for this tournament. There's only 2 more days left of block matches, and then the playoffs begin. So the 26th and the 28th are the final 2 days of block matches. The playoffs begin on the 29th. Okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at the current standings as of now. All right, we're going to start with the Red Goddesses block. Okay, Red Goddesses block. Let's take a look. So, right now, sitting at a record, an abysmal record of 0-6 with 0 points, is Reckless Fantasy, which is Waka Tsukiyama and Rion, who have teamed up before last year's tournament, but not a good look for them. No wins, 6 losses to BMI 2000, Sari Poi, Aquastella, Blue Flame, Dos Locos de Mexico, and T-Hearts. And they only have 1 match left, which is against Mi Vida Loca. But at 0-6, they are mathematically eliminated from playoff contention. Unfortunately, not really surprised. Hate to say it, but not surprised. All right. We got one team, or actually no, we got 2 teams. We got 2 teams that are sitting with 4 points apiece at records of 2 and 3. They are Mi Vida Loca and T-Hearts. Let's take a look at T-Hearts. That's Sari and Miku Kanai. So they are 2 and 3 with victories over Reckless Fantasy and Mi Vida Loca, but 3 losses to BMI 2000, Aquastella, and Blue Flame. They have 2 matches left. Now, they are in danger of elimination. They cannot afford another loss, but they are still in it, but they need to win out. They need to win those last 2 matches in order to have a shot at the playoffs. And they're going to need help. They're going to need help from other teams as well. But we'll see what happens, but they are still technically in it, but they need to win out. All right, and then Mi Vida Loca. That's Bozilla and Akira Kuragane. Same record, 2 and 3, 4 points. They have victories over BMI 2000 and Aquastella, but losses to Blue Flame, Dos Locos de Mexico, and T-Hearts. And they have 2 matches left. They're still in it as well, but same thing. They need to win out. They can get up to 8 points, but they need to win out. So, it's going to be tough, but not impossible. Just very, very slim. All right. Continuing on. We do have one team that is sitting at a record of 3 and 4 with 6 points total. And they've actually completed all their matches, and that's Blue Flame. That's Hina and Rana Yagami. So they finished with a final record of 3 and 4. victories over Reckless Fantasy, Mi Vida Loca, and T-Hearts, but losses to Dos Locos de Mexico, Aquastella, Saori Poi, and BMI 2000. And unfortunately, because the most that they've gotten is 6 points, they are mathematically eliminated from playoff contention. So, tough break. Not too bad of a tournament, but still a losing record. Okay, we got 2 teams sitting at 7 points apiece. They are Aquastella and Dos Locos de Mexico. All right, let's take a look at Aquastella, which is Yuna Mizumori and Mei Seira. So right now they have a record of 3, 2, and 1. They have victories over T-Hearts, Reckless Fantasy, and Blue Flame. They have 2 losses to Saori Poi, Mi Vida Loca, and the 1 draw with Dos Locos de Mexico. Now, they do have 1 match left, which is against BMI 2000. They got 1 match left. Technically, they are pretty much in, well, when you think about it, they're pretty much in 3rd place right now. Guess when you really look at it. Kind of like 3rd place, 4th place. But, yeah, I'd say 3rd place. All right, let's take a look at Dos Locos de Mexico. That's Tioletco and Osita. They have a record of 3, 1, and 1, 7 points. They got 3 victories over Blue Flame, Reckless Fantasy, Mi Vida Loca. They got 1 loss to Saori Poi and 1 draw with Aquastella. Now they have 2 matches left. And they are technically in 2nd place. Technically in 2nd place. But they got 2 matches left. Aquastella, they only have 1 match left. So if Dos Locos de Mexico can get these last 2 wins, they would be in really great position to secure a playoff spot. Okay. Let's see. Now we got 2 teams sitting at the top, tied at 8 points apiece with 4-1 records. They are BMI 2000 and Saori Poi. Let's take a look at Saori Poi. Saori Poi, 4-1. This is Natsupoi and Saori Ano. So 4-1, victories over Aquastella, Blue Flame, Reckless Fantasy, and Dos Locos de Mexico. But the 1 loss was to BMI 2000. And then the current Goddesses of Stardom Tag Team Champions, BMI 2000, that's Natsuko Tora and Ruaka, also 4-1. Victories over Saori Poi, Blue Flame, Reckless Fantasy, and T-Hearts. And their 1 loss was to Mi Vida Loca. They got 2 matches left. Saori Poi also have 2 matches left. But technically, BMI 2000 owned the tiebreaker over Saori Poi. So, actually, when you really look at it, the top 3 would be Dos Locos de Mexico in 3rd place, Saori Poi in 2nd place, and BMI 2000 in 1st place. So that's really the top 3. That's really the top 3. But, like I said, Aquastella still very much alive. And even T-Hearts and Mi Vida Loca are still technically alive. But like I said, they got to win out. They got to win out. But we'll see what happens. Like I said, it's pretty close that the Red Goddesses block. It's pretty close. But like I said, top 3 will advance with the number 1 seed getting a bye into the semifinals. Okay, so that's the Red Goddesses block. Let's move on to the Blue Goddesses block. Okay, Blue Goddesses. Let's take a look. Okay. Right now, sitting at the bottom with an abysmal 0-5 record with 0 points total is the Bloody Girls School, which is Suzu Suzuki and Rina Yamashita. They've had it really, really rough in this tournament. 5 losses to, well, they had 2 forfeits to Gorilla Trigger and Sakurara due to Suzu Suzuki poor health. And also losses to NX Con, Reiwa Tokyo Towers, and O2 Line. They do have 2 matches left, but no chance of them making the top 3. So, unfortunately, Bloody Girls School are eliminated from playoff contention. I was really bummed about this because I was actually really hoping for there to be like a much better showing from Bloody Girls School, but injuries and sicknesses and all that unfortunately played a part. Ricardo, welcome to the stream, says, how's it going tonight? It's going good. About to get some sleep and get ready to watch the Setup Wrestling event from Thailand on their YouTube channel at 6:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. Oh, man. Yeah, definitely better get some sleep if you're going to catch that. But, no, that's fun. That's fun. But, yeah, you'll have to let me know how that goes. Okay. Next, we got one team also is not doing good. 1-4 record, 2 points, and that's O2 Line, which is Azumi and Miyu Amasaki of Neo Genesis. Yeah, they're not looking good. 1 victory over the Bloody Girls School, but 4 losses to New Star Sisters, Mega Skyscrapers, Annex Con, and Gorilla Trigger. Now, they do have 2 matches left, but yeah, unfortunately, they are also eliminated from playoff contention. Even though they can get up to 6 points, it's still not enough due to other teams owning tiebreakers. So, yeah, O2 Line is unfortunately mathematically eliminated. And the thing is, to be honest, don't get me wrong, I like Azumi, I like Miyu Amasaki, but just historically, that pairing just is not a good pairing. It's not a good pairing. Like, I'm all for them being in the same faction, that's cool, but as a tag team, O2 Line just is not a good tag team. Let's just keep it real. They're not a good tag team. They struggle in tournaments, and they're just not a good tag team. So, that's just how I see it. Okay, let's keep going. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 teams. 4 teams. Sitting at 6 points apiece. And they are Sakurara, Anexcon, Reiwa Tokyo Towers, and New Star Sisters. Okay, let's look at the New Star Sisters. That's Konami and Rina. So they have a record of 3-3. They got victories over O2 Line, Reiwa Tokyo Towers, and Sakurara, but 3 losses to Gorilla Trigger, Anexcon, and the Mega Skyscrapers. They do have 1 match left. They still have a chance. They're still in it, but they cannot afford to lose their final match. They gotta win their final match to have a shot at the playoffs. Which their final match is against the Bloody Girls School. So we'll see how that goes, but they have to win that match to stand a chance. Okay, let's take a look at the Reiwa Tokyo Towers. That's Ami Sourei and Lady C. They also have the same record, 3-3, 6 points. Victories over Bloody Girls School, Anexcon, and Gorilla Trigger. But 3 losses to Sakurara, Mega Skyscrapers, and the New Star Sisters. They got 1 match left, and it's against O2 Line. They're also in it. Right now, they're on a 2-match win streak. So they're still in it, but they need to win their last match, and they need some help in order for them to have a shot at the playoffs. But both them and the New Star Sisters are in danger of elimination. Cannot afford another loss. Okay? Alright. Anexcon. That's Shuri and Saki Kashima. They have a 3-2 record. They got 3 victories over the New Star Sisters, Bloody Girls School, and O2 Line. 2 losses to the Reiwa Tokyo Towers and Gorilla Trigger. They have 2 matches left. So, still very much in it. Okay. And Sakurara. Sakurara, the current New Blood Tag Team Champions. That's Aya Sakura and Sayaka Kurara. 3-2 record. They got victories over Gorilla Trigger, Reiwa Tokyo Towers, and the forfeit victory over Bloody Girls School. But 2 losses to the New Star Sisters and the Mega Skyscrapers. And they have 2 matches left. Still very much in it. And then right now, we have 1 team right now holding on to 2nd place. So right now, 3rd place is a tie between Anexcon and Sakurara. Both are 3-2. So they're both tied for 3rd place. Now 2nd place, with 8 points on a 4-3 record, Gorilla Trigger. That's Saya Ida and B. Priestley. They got 4 wins over Anexcon, O2 Line, Bloody Girls School with the forfeit, and New Star Sisters. But 3 losses to the Mega Skyscrapers, Reiwa Tokyo Towers, and Sakurara. Now, they've completed all of their matches, so they finished at 8 points. So they can't get any more than 8 points. But right now, they are in 2nd place. So they really just have to hope for other teams to lose and whatnot in order for them to secure their playoff spot. And then right now, sitting at the top, the only undefeated team left in the tournament so far, a whopping 5-0, 10 points, are the Mega Skyscrapers of Hanako and Megan Bain. That's right, undefeated 5-0 with victories over Gorilla Trigger, Sakurara, Reiwa Tokyo Towers, O2 Line, and New Star Sisters. They got 2 matches left, but they have successfully secured a playoff spot. Right now, they're the only team to have secured a playoff spot. Now, they haven't secured a number 1 seed yet. But let's talk about some things. Now, technically, the interesting thing is right now, Mega Skyscrapers are in the lead. They're number 1. But the interesting thing is Anexcon, if they can win out, which would include beating Sakurara and the Mega Skyscrapers, then actually an ex-con would win the number 1 seed. If they went out. If they went out, they will get the number 1 seed. So, it's going to be tough. But, and the thing is, let's see. As a matter of fact, as long as the Mega Skyscrapers can win 1 out of their remaining 2 matches, then they will secure the number 1 seed. So the Mega Skyscrapers just need 1 more victory, and they will secure the number 1 seed. Because they can get up to 14 points, but no other team can get 12 except for them. So as long as they get 12, if they can get 1 more victory, they'll secure the number 1 seed. So let's see. The Mega Skyscrapers still have to face AnnexCon and Bloody Girls School. Ooh, now, even though Bloody Girls School has yet to win a match, don't sleep on them. They still have a good chance to play spoiler. That is a thing when it comes to round robin tournaments. So just keep that in mind. They can still play spoiler. But we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. So, let's see. I'm probably... Actually, since tomorrow is the next set of matches, let's go over those. And I'll probably do one more. I'll probably do another preview or another recap tomorrow. But let's take a look. So, November 26th, that's tomorrow. These are tomorrow's matchups. Let's look at the Red Goddesses block. BMI 2000 versus Aquastella. That's gonna be big. That's gonna be really big for Aquastella. Aquastella really needs to get that victory, which would really push them up. Not to mention, that's their last match. So, BMI 2000 still has 2 matches left. But if Aquastella can win this match, that would put them in a really good spot for a potential playoff spot. So, Aquastella really needs to win that match tomorrow. All right, let's see. What else? Saripoi versus Mi Vida Loca. I mean, Bozilla and Akira Kuragane have struggled some, but look at who they've been able to defeat. So far, they've beaten BMI 2000 and Aquastella. So, they got a chance to keep their playoff hopes alive and also play spoiler. So, that could be a tough match. That could be a tough match. But I think Saripoi will be fine. I think they do end up winning, though. And then you got Dos Locos de Mexico versus T-Hearts. That's going to be interesting. Because T-Hearts is still in the hunt. But the thing is, T-Hearts, they got 2 matches left. Dos Locos de Mexico have 2 matches left. So, T-Hearts really need the victory. They can't afford a loss. So, Dos Locos de Mexico have the opportunity to get 9 points and also put away T-Hearts. So, they got to really capitalize on that. So, not to mention, if they win their match and Aquastella wins their match, then they'll both be tied at 9 points. So, that could end up being interesting. But, we'll see what happens. But your Red Goddesses matchups for tomorrow are BMI 2000 versus Aquastella, Saripoi versus Mi Vida Loca, and Dos Locos de Mexico versus T-Hearts. Should be good. Alright, Blue Goddesses block. Let's take a look. Okay, Blue Goddesses block. All right, tomorrow matchups. We got Sakurara versus Anexcon. Ooh, that's gonna be a good test for the New Blood Tag Team Champs. That's gonna be a tough one. But they got a chance. They definitely got a chance. Let's see. The Reiwa Tokyo Towers gotta keep their playoff hopes alive if they can pick up a victory over O2 Line tomorrow. That's their last match of the tournament of the block. So they got a chance to get 8 points, but they need that victory over O2 Line tomorrow. And then the Mega Skyscrapers have a chance to punch their number 1 seed, stamp it in, if they can defeat the Bloody Girls School tomorrow. So they got a chance to get it. So, tomorrow's an important day. I mean, so is the 28th. It's coming down to the wire, but it's going to be interesting. But yeah, your tomorrow Blue Goddesses matchups are Sakurara versus NXCon. Let's see. Reiwa Tokyo Towers versus O2 Line, and Mega Skyscrapers versus Bloody Girls School. Those are your Blue Goddesses matchups for tomorrow. Glenn, welcome to the stream. I'm thinking Takeshita versus Okada. I'm thinking that as well. Especially considering how they have the blocks set up. They're in opposite blocks. So I think that's definitely what they're setting up for. So I agree. But yeah, you know what? I am curious. I'm curious to see who the main event for tomorrow's Goddess of Stardom Tag League. Let me see who's in the main event for tomorrow. Let's see. But yeah, it's coming down to the wire. Let's see. Okay. Ooh, so BMI 2000 versus Aquastella. Supposedly main event for tomorrow. Ooh, that's a good main event. Oh, man. So they're going to knock out the Blue Goddesses matches first and then finish with the Red Goddesses matches. Okay. Actually, just curious. Let me see the main event. Let me see what the main event is for the 28th. I'm curious. So the main event for the 28th, which the 28th is the last day of block matches. BMI 2000 versus Dos Locos de Mexico. Okay. This is exciting, though. This is exciting. And then just a reminder, the finals. So the playoffs begin the 29th, which they will do the first round, which will be in Osaka. They'll be in Osaka. And then the finals will be in Hamamatsu on the 30th, which they're going to do a pay-per-view for that one. Glenn says, man, Waka can't catch a break. I mean, are you surprised? I mean, I know Reckless Fantasy got a victory or two last year, but I mean, are you surprised? Like, Glenn, I gotta keep it real with you. I love the enthusiasm, but I don't know why you're surprised. Like, Waka's not gonna really go any higher than she is. She's not really gonna go any higher than she is. if anything, we just should be glad that at least she's been a champion. Tag champion, yes, but I highly doubt she's ever going to win a singles title. So, I mean, it's cool that you have hope, but honestly, you might want to rethink that. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You may disappoint yourself. I'm just saying. I gotta keep it real. Aquastella is actually doing better than I expected. I mean, yeah. I just really would have wanted for Mei Sarah to have teamed with Azumi, but I do think if it was a different circumstance and Starlight Kid was in the tournament, we probably would have had Azumi and Starlight Kid, but didn't work out that way. So, we'll see what happens. 1 second. Okay. But yeah. So the finals will be in Hamamatsu, which I know they don't have any of the cards set, which they probably won't set up any of the card until after the block matches are finished, and then they'll probably get an idea of what that card's going to look like, at least the preliminary matches leading up to the finals. Let's see. But yeah, that is how we finish off the month of November with the finals of the 15th Goddess of Stardom Tag League. And then, like I said, I'll do another recap tomorrow. So look forward to that. And also, another reminder, they're going to be doing a Dream Queendom press conference on December 10th. So keep an eye out. That's probably when they're going to announce maybe the rest of the card. Maybe that's when they announce the card for Dream Queendom. I mean, we already know we're going to get Saya Kamatani defending the red belt against Saori Ano. We already know we're getting that. So I'm thinking December 10th, they're going to reveal the rest of the card. And I'm pretty sure one of those matches will be Goddess of Stardom tag title match at Dream Queendom, with the winners going up against the tag champs or whatnot. But should be good. Alrighty. And also, to be honest with y'all, I do kind of have a feeling that the Mega Skyscrapers could get a clean sweep. I mean, with the way they've been going, don't be surprised if they get a clean sweep. I mean, it's crazy because Megan Bain has already won one of these tournaments. I mean, she won it 2 years ago with Micah. So she has an opportunity to win it a second time with Hanako. And like I said, they're 5-0, and they're one win away from securing the number 1 seed. So honestly, don't be surprised if they get a clean sweep. So, I mean, I know Hanako's the current future champ, but I'm just saying, like, don't be surprised if they get a clean sweep. Anyway, but I'm still hopeful that at least the Reiwa Tokyo Towers will make it to the playoffs. At least make it to the playoffs. Although, I do still believe, I'm pulling for it, we need to get Ami Sourei versus Shuri for the IWGP Women's Championship at some time. These two have not had a match against each other one-on-one since 2023. That needs to change. They are 1-1 against each other. Shuri beat Ami in the 2022 Cinderella tournament. Ami beat Shuri in the 2023 5-Star Grand Prix tournament. These two need to have a rubber match. It's been 2 years. It's been 2 years. I know Ami had the injury and whatnot, had to bounce back from that. That's fine. It's almost 2026. It's time for Ami and Shuri to go at it one-on-one, and they might as well go at it for the title. I'm thinking maybe at one of the shows after Wrestle Kingdom in Stardom. I think they need to have that match. They're long overdue. Glenn says, I dig the name Bloody Girls School, though. Yeah, it's fitting. It's fitting. For Rina Yamashita, Suzu Suzuki, it's very fitting. It's just a bummer that the record doesn't fit the name. But yeah, I really need to see Ami versus Shuri. Like, Ami has come back in a big way. She's better. She's had a great stint in the 5-Star Grand Prix, making it to the finals. She's showed that she is 100%. I think she deserves a shot at Shuri's title. They're 1-1. Okada, I need you to book the rubber match for the title at some point. Make it happen. And I'm going to leave it at that. Okay. All right. Now, let's jump into this article. ESPN's 30 under 30 list. So, which apparently they've done this list before, but this is their third ever installment. Top 30 pro wrestlers under 30 years of age. Certain names have missed the age cutoff, including Tony Storm, Konosuke Takeshita, Chris Statlander, Logan Paul, Yuma Aoyagi, Jamie Hayter, Dragon Lee. You got a little bit of variety on this list. Got a little bit of variety. And I'll go back, when I edit this, I'll go back and put the link to this in the description. But, let's go ahead and also, shout outs to Andreas Hale, Greg Wyshynski, Sean Coyle, Sachin Chaden, and Arda Okal, who provided the analysis on this list. Like I said, I'm going to be going over this list in detail as they have listed. Okay, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Number 30, Atlantis Jr. Age 27. Promotion CMLL. Last year's rank, he was unranked. It says, Atlantis Jr. is also one of the busiest wrestlers on this list, competing in more than 150 matches across New Japan Pro Wrestling, Major League Wrestling, AEW, and his home of CMLL. Atlantis Jr. is the son of one of the most popular luchadors in CMLL history, giving him large shoes to fill. CMLL features him in big matches at the popular Arena Mexico, and AEW / Ring of Honor fans might remember his 2025 matches against Josh Alexander, FTR, and the Don Callis family. Atlantis Jr., number 30. All right. Moving on, number 29, Shota Umino from New Japan Pro Wrestling, age 28. Last year's rank, 10. Wow, so he dropped down quite a bit. It says Umino kicked off 2025 headlining New Japan Pro Wrestling's Wrestle Kingdom in a losing effort against then IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Zack Sabre Jr. I was there for that match. Once pegged as the future ace of New Japan Pro Wrestling, Umino has fallen out of the spotlight since his title match, drifting into an arc that has been about finding his identity and proving naysayers wrong. He still has tremendous upside, as evidenced by his G1 Climax match with Yota Tsuji and his recent IWGP Tag Team Championship loss to the Knockout Brothers alongside Yuya Uemura in October. The question is when or if New Japan Pro Wrestling will push Umino back to the top of the promotion. Honestly, I don't think it'll be anytime soon, if you ask me. I could be wrong, but yeah, I would agree. Ever since Wrestle Kingdom 19, he really has fallen off in a big way. Will he get back up there? Maybe, but I don't think it'll be anytime soon. But you never know. Okay, number 28 belongs to Kalani Jordan. Age 27, promotion NXT. Last year's rank, she was unranked. It says, after becoming the inaugural NXT Women's North American Champion in 2024, Jordan defeated Lei Ying Lee at TNA Victory Road in September to claim the TNA Knockouts World Championship. There's no denying the athleticism of the former Michigan State gymnast. When you add the developed promo skills, specifically via her newly turned heel character, the sky's the limit. I definitely like Kalani Jordan. I think she has a bright future. She's great in the ring. I love her athleticism. And honestly, a pretty dang on good choice for the inaugural NXT Women's North American Champion. And, you know, having a nice little TNA Knockouts World Championship reign, not bad. I know probably unexpected to many, considering she is, you know, an NXT roster member. But with the partnership that they have, I mean, like I said at the bottom, sky's the limit. You know what I mean? So. Alright, next up. Somebody that I got a chance to meet at WWE World earlier this year. Axiom at number 27. Age 27. Promotion NXT. Although he has been mainly on SmackDown. You know, him and Nathan Frazier is, you know, Fraxium. Last year's rank, unranked. It says the wrestler from Madrid spent most of 2025 teaming with Nathan Frazier to form Fraxium. They were NXT Tag Team Champions in their second reign entering 2025, but lost to Hank and Tank at Stand and Deliver in April. By the fall, Fraxium were mainly fodder for more established or establishing tag teams, but Axiom reintroduced himself on SmackDown earlier this month against Ilya Dragunov in a U.S. title open challenge match. If he was hidden in the minds of wrestling fans for a little while, that certainly changed after this hard-hitting, fast-paced, exciting match. I like Axiom. I definitely have liked him since the NXT UK days, which, you know, when he was a kid without the mask. But definitely have been a big fan of Axiom. I love his in-ring work. High-flying, submission background. The inaugural Heritage Cup champion. So definitely Axiom, great wrestler. Was really happy to have met him. Definitely bright future for him. All right, number 26. Another one of my favorites and somebody that I've met as well. The Jet, Kevin Knight. Age, 28. Promotion, AEW. Last year's rank, unranked. It says, before the formation of Jet Speed earlier this year alongside Speedball Mike Bailey in AEW, Knight took part in the 2020 New Japan Super J Cup. In 2022, he and Kushida formed the Intergalactic Jet Setters tag team and became two-time IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. Though Jet Speed did not claim the AEW World Tag Team Championships at All In July or All Out in September, there's no denying the talent of Knight and Jet Speed. And honestly, I remember seeing Kevin Knight back when he was a young lion. I got a chance to see him at a in New Japan Strong show in Charlotte. It was strong. It was High Alert. Dude has so much talent, so much athletic ability, and I was really hoping that he would someday win the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Although it's still not completely out of the realm of possibilities, but dude is a beast of an athlete. And I was rooting very hard for him ever since he was a young lion. I've met him twice through DPW and through Ashe. And I just really, there's a bright future for Kevin Knight. And I think he's only going to get better. So definitely glad to see he made this list. All right. Number 25. Another name, really, really great. Glad that I've gotten a chance to meet her twice. And that's Starlight Kid from Stardom. Age, 24. Last year's rank, unranked. All right. Starlight Kid has the charisma, crowd connection, and possibly coolest collection of masks of anyone on this list. You're not wrong there. She spent much of 2025 as the trios-based Artist of Stardom champion and the Wonder of Stardom championship holder. She took over leadership of her Neo Genesis faction with a win over Azumi at All-Star Grand Queendom in April. Though the Stardom roster has had some notable departures in the past year, it's clear that Starlight Kid is a crucial part of its present and immediate future. Absolutely. Starlight Kid, and had a pretty good Wonder of Stardom championship reign. And I know she's currently, nursing, recovering from injury and whatnot. And I definitely feel it's only a matter of time before she has a run with the World of Stardom Championship. I definitely believe that is in her future. And like I said, she's only 24. She still has a bright future ahead of her. Definitely one of the Stardom originals. First ever Future of Stardom champion. And I mean, just honestly, she's only going to get better and better. I mean, she very charismatic. The crowd loves her. She's had some excellent matches, excellent showdowns between many different wrestlers. Great storylines as well. She's the leader of her own faction now. She's really evolved. Really, really evolved. So, Blood Money, welcome to the stream. Sorry I'm late. No worries, no worries. These are archives, so you can always go back. Today I have both tag leagues at Stardom and New Japan, right? 28th is the final block match. Yes. 28th is the final block match, and then the playoffs start the 29th. Yes. Keep Pounding USA. How do you know these people? Mostly through meet and greets at pro wrestling events. But yeah, I guess to break it down for you, I met Axiom at WWE World in Vegas. I met Kevin Knight both times in my home state through DPW in Durham and Ashe in Charlotte. I met Starlight Kid in Philadelphia and in Vegas. So far. All right, so let's see. Starlight Kid was number 25. Number 24, Megasis Megan Bayne. Age, 27. Promotion, AEW. Last year's rank, unranked. It says, Bayne's personality screams star, and she has carried herself as such since her debut in AEW at the beginning of 2025. 5 foot 11 inches tall, the Greek goddess stands out among women wrestlers. She got a taste of a main event in April when she fell short in challenging Toni Storm for the AEW Women's World Championship at Dynasty, which served as a heat check for Bane. She also showed some grit in the first women's Blood and Guts match in mid-November. She has been around the top of the women's division in AEW and will likely be back in the title contention sometime in 2026. I couldn't agree more. Megan Bane, and not to mention, Megan Bane has been competing in both the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship Tournament and the 15th Goddesses of Stardom Tag League in Japan, pulling double duty. Like, wow. Just really, she's been incredible. She's been really incredible. She's already won one Goddess of Stardom Tag League 2 years ago with Micah. And it, like I said earlier, her and Hanako, the Mega Skyscrapers, could get a clean sweep. Right now, they're undefeated 5-0, and they have a playoff spot secure. So, we'll see. But Megan Bane has definitely been rising the ranks. She's incredible, awesome in the ring, and definitely I see her as champion someday in AEW. Singles gold, for sure. Blood Money says, Gorilla Trigger's the only team finished the tournament. Can't see them finish in the top 3 with 8 points and tiebreakers. They're not out of it. It's still very possible. They're gonna need help. One thing you got to remember, Blood Money, this is a round-robin tournament. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. So, it's not impossible. Number 23. Hook. That's right. The son of Taz himself. Hook at number 23. Age, 26. Promotion, AEW. Last year's rank, 17. So he's fallen a little bit. Okay. It says the son of ECW legend Taz, the cold-hearted handsome devil of AEW, the New York Times wrote he was brooding with high-volume zoomer hair. Hook has the look, the lineage, and the in-ring skill set filled with powerful throws. So why hasn't he succeeded as a franchise player yet? His middling mic skills aside, it feels like Hook has gone from team to team, stable to stable, without establishing himself as a star. Over the past year, Hook was defined by being a part of and then feuding with Samoa Joe and the Ops. Can he be something more than this? Well, now he's joined the Ops, so I mean, that's a pretty accurate analysis. It's an accurate analysis. Glenn says, Ami has really improved and is ready for the main event scene and a shot at the IWGP. Absolutely, 1,000,000% agree. 1,000,000% agree. Especially considering she's 100% now, doesn't have to worry about that knee. Shows no signs of slowing down either. But with Hook, I mean, that's pretty accurate. I mean, we know he was the FTW champion, but, you know, that belt's not a thing anymore. So, I mean, they make a good point. But, I mean, he feuded with Samoa Joe, and now, he's back with Samoa Joe and joined the Ops. I don't know what's to come from that, but yeah. Guess we'll have to wait and see. Alright, moving on. Number 22. Jack Perry. As in Jungle Jack Perry. Age, 28. Promotion, AEW. Last year's rank, 7. So he's fallen off greatly. Let's see what it says. Perry slid down the list because he was mostly absent in 2025, which is true. Other than his losing effort to Yota Tsuji at Wrestle Dynasty in January, he vanished from television for the majority of the year. Upon his return at All Out in September, Perry ditched the heel persona and reformed Jurassic Express with Luchasaurus, returning to his babyface roots as a hybrid of his scapegoat and Jungle Boy personas. A tag team win over the Young Bucks at Wrestle Dream in October reinforced the possibility that Perry could still play a major role in AEW and have a strong 2026. Yeah, I mean, Jurassic Express is back together. I mean, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. And if anything, I'm just happy that Luchasaurus is back and he's healthy. He overcame his health scare. I'm just really happy for that. Glenn says, Hook has some talent, but you can't really understand anything he says, which affects his promos. He needs to learn to project and enunciate. I mean, being that he's a dude that's not a lot of words, I don't know. Maybe they got to keep him quiet. I don't know. Just, yeah. But no, that's fair. That's fair. All right. Number 21, Daniel Garcia. Age 27, promotion AEW. Last year's rank 9. All right. It says, in the ring, Garcia is an inventive technical wrestler who looks comfortable battling for the ROH Pure Championship. He's a natural heel, using his goofy little dance to draw heat. Garcia latched on to the Chris Jericho Appreciation Society early in his career and recently joined Jon Moxley's Death Riders, AEW's most villainous stable. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, good technical wrestler for sure. Was not a fan of him joining the Death Riders, to be honest with you, but yeah. Yeah, I was really bummed about that. That's really all I got to say. All right. Number 20. Oh, before I read number 20, Glenn Davis says, Jungle Jack has come back strong with the return of Jurassic Express, but we'll see if he can keep the momentum. We shall see indeed. Number 20. Juggernaut Jordynne Grace. Jordynne Grace. Who I've met before. Jordynne Grace. Met her at Wrestlecade 2 years ago. Jordynne Grace, age 29, promotion TNA/WWE. Last year's rank 16. So only falling off a little bit, just a little bit. It says Grace, an all-time TNA great and former 3-time Knockouts champion, signed with NXT earlier this year and took part in the Women's Royal Rumble match in February, her second Rumble match appearance. In NXT, Grace began a compelling program with another wrestler on this list, Blake Monroe, and that culminated with a win in September at No Mercy in a weaponized steel cage match. Minasan konbanwa. Good evening, Jason. Good evening, Jerry Correa. Welcome to the stream. I mean, what can I say? Jordynne Grace is one of the best in the business right now. I mean, Jordynne Grace, you can put her up against anybody and she'll deliver a great match with anybody, whether it's here, whether it's in Japan. Like, I love the showdowns that she's had with Chihiro Hashimoto. You know? Like, honestly, Jordynne Grace, you can't go wrong with Jordynne Grace. And I think it's only a matter of time before she becomes a WWE champion. It's just only a matter of time. But, yeah, you can't really go wrong with Jordynne Grace. So, hey, you know, falling off a little bit on the list, but makes sense that she's still on the list. Okay. Number 19. This woman has pretty much one of the best finishers ever. And that's Sol Ruca. Sol Ruca at number 19. Age 26, promotion NXT. Last year's rank unranked. So glad to see her make this list. says Sol Ruka looks like a star and leaves an impression on fans with her in-ring work and one of the coolest looking finishers ever, the Soul Snatcher, on this list. Becoming the second woman to achieve champ status in NXT, where she was double title holder of the WWE Women's Speed Championship and NXT Women's North American Championship, vaults her onto this list. Ruka, the Pro Wrestling Illustrated's 2023 Rookie of the Year, has followed up nicely, and a successful main roster run is certainly in her future. Absolutely. Which I also got a chance to meet her at WWE World. She was really sweet. Really, really sweet. Sol Ruka, I mean, she is incredible in the ring. Very athletic, surfer girl, gymnast. I mean, just extremely athletic. I know she had an injury setback, but honestly, she has come back in a big way. And I cannot wait to see what she will eventually do on the main roster. I look forward to her winning championship gold on the main roster as well. So, Sol Ruka definitely is somebody that I see WWE investing very much in, especially for the future of the women's division. Glenn Davis says, it doesn't seem to matter what they do with him. Daniel Garcia just can't seem to get over. Daddy Magic doesn't help. Yeah, I think him joining the Death Riders set him back greatly. Jordan Grace has a lot of positive attributes, but it looks like she's aged a decade in the last couple of years. That's arguable. You know, that's arguable. You know, I'm not gonna say I agree or disagree with that. You know, that's arguable. Okay. Number 18. Mascara Dorada 2.0. Age 24. Promotion CMLL/AEW. Last year's rank 19. Oh, so he moved up one. Nice. Okay. Between CMLL and AEW, it felt like Dorada had matches every month that left people in awe. At first, he looked like the odd man out in a triple threat match with Kazuchika Okada and Konosuke Takeshita at AEW All Out in September. But Dorada was outstanding in what has been one of the best matches of 2025. He's very athletic and can perform in just about any match, as demonstrated by his singles bout against Neon at CMLL Super Viernes, or his exceptional performance in the 20-man tag elimination, or the 20 tag elimination match that he won at CMLL Grand Prix International in August. It feels like he hasn't reached his ceiling yet. Dude's a beast in the ring and a beast of a high flyer. Mascara Dorada, whoo, that dude is incredible in the ring. It's insane the stuff that he can do with such flash and consistency. Definitely somebody to keep an eye out. For sure. That's pretty much all I have for him. Don't have a whole lot on him. Number 17. One of my favorites, and another wrestler that I've gotten a chance to meet, but this was before she became the Phoenix Queen. Y'all know who I'm talking about. And that is Saya Kamatani from Stardom. Age 28. Promotion Stardom / New Japan Pro Wrestling. Which I guess that's because she holds the NJPW Strong title, but whatever. Last year's rank, unranked. So glad to see that she's made this list. Here it is. Aura is the one word that best describes the Phoenix Queen, Saya Kamatani. Maybe it's her mesmerizing entrances or her demeanor since turning heel in 2024 and leading the villainous Hate faction. Which is kind of weird because isn't Natsuko Tora still actually the leader? Anyway, Whatever it is, Kamatani is the complete package in wrestling, as she headlined the highest attended event in Stardom history this year at All-Star Grand Queendom in April. In that event, she retired her mentor, Tam Nakano, against whom she had the most emotional rivalry of the year. Kamatani is at the center of Stardom's roaring 2025, including winning the first women's wrestling match on Japanese over-the-air TV since 2002. Not to mention 2 different times that Saya Kamatani has been a double champ, holding both the World of Stardom Championship and the Regina de Wave Championship at the same time. And right now, currently holding the World of Stardom Championship and the NJPW Strong Women's Championship at the same time. Saya Kamatani has been on a whole nother level since going from being the Golden Phoenix to the Phoenix Queen has definitely been life-changing for Saya Kamatani. And honestly, she's still very much in her prime. And not even 30 years old yet. So, she's only going to get better and better, and she's been in magazines, on shows and interviews, and the spotlight has been featured heavily on Saya Kamatani. So, I'm happy for her. I got a chance to meet her last year in Philadelphia when Stardom came to the 2300 arena. She was really sweet, but that was when she was still the Golden Phoenix. Glenn Davis says, I would put Saya Kamatani much higher. How much higher would you put her? She's at 17. How much higher would you have put her? The Demon Child might think she's the leader of hate, but Saya has transcended the faction. Hey, that's a very fair argument. That's a very fair argument. So, yeah. Okay. Number 16. Somebody that I got a chance to meet while I was in Japan. Number 16 is the sun god herself, Sari. That's right. Sari the sun god. Age, 29. Promotion, well, says New Japan Pro Wrestling, but technically she is freelancer, so I don't even know why they said that. But she was former IWGP Women's Champion, so I guess I kind of get it. Anyway, formerly known as Saray in NXT, Sari is one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. She won the IWGP Women's Championship in an epic showdown with Shuri that started as a grappling clinic and morphed into a violent slugfest that ended in a time limit draw in March. The match rivals any that occurred this year. Although she lost the title against Shuri in October, Sari made her mark and continues to tear up the Joshi scene. Facts. Like I said, met her in Japan at Marigold's New Year's show, or New Year's Eve show. Definitely one of the best in the world. Only 29 years old, still delivering on many, many matches. Also has been producing her own shows with Sariism. You know, she's about to have number 10 next year. So definitely Sari is just going to continue to be awesome and make waves in the pro wrestling business. Not just the Joshi scene, the pro wrestling business. Glenn says, I'd rank Saya at least 10. Really? From being unranked to number 10? That's bold. But I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. But that's bold. Alrighty. Number 15. Sari's promotion is Sariism. We get it, Glenn. We get it. Let it go. It's not that serious. Number 15, Lyra Valkyria. Age, 29. Promotion, WWE. Last year's rank, unranked. Valkyria is establishing herself the most among the Irish wrestlers in WWE. And that's because 2025 was her first full year, and it was an eventful one. She defeated Dakota Kai on Raw in January to become the first Women's Intercontinental Champion. At WrestleMania 41 in April, Valkyria and her last-minute partner Becky Lynch won the Women's Tag Team Championship. Valkyria ended the year with an odd but interesting love-hate pairing with Bayley. Valkyria has the potential to be one of the top performers in the women's division, fully capable of headlining WWE premium live events. I have been a fan of Lyra Valkyria since she was Aoife Valkyrie back in NXT UK. Phenomenal wrestler, has the look, has the talent, and honestly, I was happy for her making history, becoming the first Women's Intercontinental Champion. I love the rivalry between her and Becky Lynch, especially dating back to NXT when she dethroned Becky Lynch for the NXT Women's Championship at Halloween Havoc. Lyra Valkyria is only going to get better, and I could definitely see her main eventing in the future. Yeah, I mean, I really don't have anything negative to say about Lyra Valkyria. She's someone I would love to meet someday. But yeah, she's only going to get better. And I just really loved how well she's been featured. So, shout out to Lyra Valkyria. She's been tearing it up. Okay, number 14. Well, some people might end up having an issue with this one, but I'll just go ahead and get it over with. Number 14, Gabe Kid War Ready. Gabe Kidd, age 28, promotion New Japan Pro Wrestling. Last year's rank 24, so he's dropped a couple of notches, just a couple of notches. Okay, Gabe Kidd. The wrestler who exudes the it factor became solidified in 2025. Kidd had an epic battle against Kenny Omega at Wrestle Kingdom in January, and then enjoyed must-see matches with Tomohiro Ishii, Yota Tsuji, Michael Oku, Speedball Mike Bailey, and Konosuke Takeshita. The physical and brooding Brit has all the tools necessary to be a star in this industry, and showcased his talent with American audiences when AEW borrowed his services in August for the absurd lights-out steel cage match at Forbidden Door. Kidd is special, unique, and primed to take over in 2026. I know a lot of people don't like Gabe Kidd. I get it. I honestly don't have an issue with him. I loved his showdowns, especially with Tomohiro Ishii. You know, the match where Ishii dethroned him for the NJPW Strong Championship. Love that match. One of my favorite matches. I like Gabe Kidd. Me personally, I'm okay with him. I know a lot of people don't like him. Yes, the Wrestle Kingdom match he had with Kenny Omega could have been better. It could have been much better. But, like I said, there's definitely room for improvement, for sure. But, like I said, I don't have any issue with Gabe Kidd, personally. I'm okay with him. But I can understand how a lot of people don't like him. Alright, let's keep going. Number 13. Kaito Kiyomiya. Age 29. Promotion. Pro Wrestling Noah, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Definitely Noah is his home. Last year's rank, number 12. Let's see. Kiyomiya has been billed as the future of pro wrestling Noah since he debuted 10 years ago. Through the ups and downs, Kiyomiya has represented the spirit of Noah with his style and presence. His performance in 2024 when he won the N1 Victory Tournament as the reigning GHC Heavyweight Champion was a hard act to follow, but his 2025 was full of clashes against rivals Ozawa and Yoshiki Inamura. Kiyomiya is firmly a part of Noah's main event scene heading into 2026. Facts. Can't deny any of that. Many say that he's the ace of Noah, which, is understandable. But the dude is great in the ring. Definitely great in the ring. And, was ranked 12 last year. Only fallen off a little bit. So, Japanese Women's Wrestling Movement, welcome to the stream, says, hello. Kenny Omega versus Gabe Kidd still best match of the year 2025. Really, dude? That's the match you pick as the best match of 2025? I'm going to have to heavily disagree with that. I feel you, but I have to... if that's your pick for best match of the year, of this year, I wonder how much wrestling you watched this year, bro. If that's your best match of this year... I really wonder how much wrestling you've watched this year. I'm just saying. Cause that's kind of surprising. But I mean, it is. It is what it is, but yeah, that's interesting. Tyrone Marquis, thank you for the follow. I hope I said your name correctly. If I didn't, please forgive me. Okay. All right, that was number 13, Kaito Kiyomiya. Number 12, El Hijo del Vikingo. Somebody that I did meet a couple of years ago via GCW when they came to Concord, North Carolina. I did get a chance to meet him. Really, really cool. Age, 28. Promotion, AAA. Last year's rank, 13. Oh, so he moved up a spot. Alrighty. It says, Vikingo's ability in the air seems impossible. Yeah, agreed. But his breathtaking aerial attack is ripe for injuries, which slowed him down a bit in 2025. That's also very true. However, he still had memorable outings on a grand stage once WWE purchased AAA in April. His match with Chad Gable at Worlds Collide in June is an example of what the second-generation Lucha Libre sensation has to offer. He recently turned heel, which could lead to Vikingo reaching new heights in 2026. Yes, that did happen recently. One incredible high flyer, a beast of a high flyer, but it is true, he does tend to be injury prone. It's unfortunate because after all, high risk, high reward. High risk, high reward. So, yeah, but a beast of a high flyer. A lot of insane stuff he's done. Hey, Andy, welcome to the stream. Howdy, Blitz. Seems like we will finally get to see Yuka's ROH Pure title tournament match this week. Yes, it's going to be interesting. I mean, she's going up against the Professor, Serena Deeb. That's going to be a tough match. But definitely won't underestimate the magical girl. We'll see what happens, because I think it's going to be a tough match. Don't be surprised if Serena wins, but I would not be mad if Yuka won. That would be cool. That would be cool. Okay. Continuing on. So, Vikingos, number 12. Number 11. And this is somebody that I vouch very highly for, especially considering somebody that I have not only met, but I've seen multiple times live, and he just happens to be from my home state of North Carolina, specifically Greensboro, North Carolina. He's bouncy, and he is the young OG Javon Evans at number 11. Yes, yes, yes. Age 21, just turned 21 not too long ago. Promotion NXT. Last year's rank unranked, so he is debuting at number 11. That's big. That's really big. Glenn says, I like Vikingo a lot, but his career looks like it's going to be all too short. I mean, hey, you take that risk being a high flyer. That's why it's called high risk, high reward. So it's kind of one of the things where you have to know that is one of the big risks if you're going to wrestle that style. You know what I mean? So, okay, Javon Evans. Evans has been building up a groundswell in NXT, including a rivalry with Ethan Page and a title match with Obafemi. Evans recently made his debut on SmackDown, answering Sami Zayn's U.S. title open challenge. It was one of those a loss is actually a win kind of moments. Evans couldn't have had a more spectacular showing against one of WWE's great performers. He followed it up with a terrific match in a clash this month against Gunther in the Last Time Is Now tournament. Evans is already building an incredible amount of aura at 21. His presentation is authentic, his in-ring ability and potential are generational. Next year, Evans could be in the top 5 of this list. It won't be long before he's number 1. Big facts, and like I said, I vouch for him very highly, being that he is from North Carolina, just like me. Been watching him since he was in DPW, and honestly, he's only going to get better. He's been showcased a lot. Now he's been getting featured on the main roster. Got featured on TNA. Got featured on AAA. Like, it's only going to get better for him. It's only going to get better for him. So yeah. But yeah. So, very happy for him. I can't wait to see what's next for him. And I can't wait until he finally gets his first taste of WWE Championship gold. Misfit, welcome to the stream. Not having Momo Watanabe, Rina, or Azumi on that list depresses me. Why would it depress you, though? That's kind of a low note. I mean, it is an ESPN list, and considering, they just, had the deal with WWE and whatnot, I mean, we got Saya Kamatani, Sari, and Starlight Kid. That's a start. That's a start. I mean, I'll take what they give me with that. But, I mean, I feel you. Just, it's an ESPN list. You know what I mean? Just, And he says, really pleasantly surprised to see 3 Joshi wrestlers make this ESPN list. I was expecting 1, if any, honestly. Which is fair. That's fair. That is fair. But, yeah, they got Sari, Saya Kamatani, and Starlight Kid on there. I'll take it. I will take it. And I think when you really think about it, I mean, Momo Watanabe would have been fair. Azumi would have been fair. I don't think enough people know about Rina. I hate to say it, but I don't think enough people know about Rina. So it would have kind of been a slim chance of Rina making that list, to be honest with you. I'll give you Momo Watanabe and Azumi, but I don't think enough people know about Rina. So that's the only thing I could say. But All right, we're about to enter into the top 10. Are y'all ready? Top 10. Number 10, Leon Slater, the current TNA X Division champion. Age 21. Promotion TNA. Last year's rank unranked. So he makes his debut into this list. Says some say Slater's biggest achievement this year was being featured on TNA and NXT regularly and sharing the ring with top stars, or that Slater's biggest accomplishment is the connection he has built with the fans for his smooth, high-octane style. However, his biggest achievement was seeing TNA legend AJ Styles return to the company in July for the first time in more than a decade to crown him X Division champion at Slammiversary. You're not alone, AJ. We see the star power too. Leon Slater, who has one of the flashiest moves in that Swanton 450, a thing of beauty that I've seen multiple times live. But yeah, Leon Slater is an incredible high flyer and definitely is having quite the reign as TNA X Division champion, and I hope it continues. I really hope it continues. Was really happy to see how he dethroned Moose. But yeah, Leon Slater's that dude, for sure. So, yeah, glad to see that he's made the list. All right, number 9, the prodigy, Roxanne Perez. Let's see. Oh, Glenn said, she never had a chance in Hades of making the list, but I feel the same way about Victoria Yuzuki. Well, it's like I say the same thing about Rena. I don't think enough people know about her. Like, these are names, like, yeah, it's on ESPN list, but not enough people know about these names. You know, I'm happy enough to see that names like Sari and Saya Kamatani and Starlight Kid have at least gotten out there. But, you know, Rena, Victoria Yuzuki, just not a lot of people know about them. You know? Hopefully that'll change ASAP, but, you know. Okay. Roxanne Perez. Age 24. Promotion WWE. Last year's rank 20. So she went up a number. Went up a number of spots. Let's see. Let's see what it says about her. So it says Perez is one of 4 women to become a multiple-time NXT Women's Champion alongside Charlotte Flair, Shayna Baszler, and Jacy Jayne. It didn't take long for Perez to make an impact on the WWE main roster post-NXT. She joined the Judgment Day and, along with Raquel Rodriguez, became WWE Women's Tag Team Champion. Perez holds the record for time spent in a Women's Royal Rumble match, with over 1 hour and 7 minutes. And don't forget that Perez, along with Toni Storm, was ESPN's 2024 Women's Wrestler of the Year. So many accomplishments, and Perez is just scratching the surface. Absolutely. Absolutely. Great breakdown. Roxanne Perez, excellent wrestler, is only going to get better. I mean, having showdowns with Meiko Satomura and NXT, I mean, just wowzers. Misfit says, you say that, but Yuma Anzai was on it last year, and I've never heard of this dude ever. Okay, that's kind of surprising, bro, because Yuma Anzai, dude, has wrestled on New Japan Pro Wrestling, All Japan Pro Wrestling Noah, and DDT. Like, yeah, compared to Rena, who's mainly on Stardom, bro, that's a big difference. The dude's been on 4 different well-known promotions. It's kind of different. It's kind of different. I mean, not somebody that's won a lot of titles. I mean, he was, All Japan Triple Crown champion, but still, the dude has wrestled on a handful of major promotions in Japan, so it's not the same. It's not the same. The pipes on this man. Oh, thank you. I couldn't resist. Let's see. Ooh, I like this next one. Number 8. Whoo! 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 Oba Femi. The ruler. Oba Femi. Age, 27. Promotion, NXT. Last year's rank, unranked, so he's debuting at number 8. Really big for the ruler. Okay, it says, when Femi lost the NXT title to Ricky Saints in September, ending a reign that lasted nearly the entire year, it was expected he would be called up to the main roster as one of WWE's future stars. Instead, Femi recently returned to NXT to challenge Saints for the title, with a promo that cemented his status as someone beyond the prototypical big man sample pros. I am the one who will cast the shadow. I am the one who will take it all away. I am the one who will destroy you because the ruler is back, the destroyer is back, the bringer of war is back, your daddy is home. Femi sold it brilliantly and the crowd devoured it. He's the real deal. The real deal. Oba Femi, number one, he's definitely ready for the main roster. Hands down, he's ready for the main roster. I think, honestly, I know he's back. He's going to have another crack at Ricky Saints. But in all honesty, I think he's really done enough in NXT. It's time to put this man on the main roster. I think going into next year, he needs to be on the main roster. Hands down. He's athletic. He's a beast. He's powerful. Singles matches, triple threat, fatal four-way, it doesn't matter. You might as well not even think about a tag team match with this dude. Just singles all the way. He will deliver. I can't wait to see what he can do. Get him on the main roster against Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker and Brock Lesnar and Gunther and just, Ilya Dragunov and Drew McIntyre. Damian Priest. Really get him cooking against these other wrestlers on the main roster. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Glenn Davis says, I've been a fan of Roxanne Perez since she was in ROH. Shoot. I've liked Roxanne Perez since she was Roxy, even back in the indies before ROH. Because, that's Booker T's girl. That's Booker T's girl. But yeah, Roxanne, Roxy, whoever you want to call her, excellent in the ring, for sure. Okay, number 7. Even though I'm not a fan of the name, I guess I got to get used to it. Number 7, Blake Monroe, but she'll always be Mariah May to me. But anyway, Blake Monroe, number 7. Age, 27. Promotion, NXT. Last year's rank, number 5. So, drop down just a little bit. Just a tiny bit. Alright, it says Monroe began the year wrestling as Mariah May in AEW, the protege turned rival of Timeless Toni Storm, from whom she took the AEW Women's title. May lost the belt back to Storm at Grand Slam Australia in February, and then lost a Hollywood ending match in May, her curtain call in AEW. The following month, May reemerged as Blake Monroe in NXT and had a partnership, later turned into a feud with Jordynne Grace. Then, Monroe just won the NXT Women's North American Championship at Halloween Havoc in late October. She's a charismatic heel, a solid worker, and a wrestler to watch in WWE. Given time, Blake Monroe will draw the same levels of heat that Mariah May did. incredible wrestler. Loved her work in AEW. Loved her work in Stardom. I mean, her feuds with Mina Shirakawa and Toni Storm are incredible. And honestly, I mean, she's the Women's North American Champion now. And I'm really curious to see what kind of run she has. But, like I said, right now the only thing I don't like is the name they gave her. But, she'll always be Mariah May to me. Okay. Number 6. Bron Breakker. Age 28. Promotion WWE. Last year's rank, number 11. So he bumped up some ranks. It says you could always hear Paul Heyman's voice when you heard the name Bron Breakker. It was inevitable that WWE's biggest rising star would eventually align with wrestling's greatest pitchman. Breakker and Heyman finally united as part of The Vision, a group that included Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins until Bron Breakker and Reed attacked the Visionary to kick him out of the group. It was a high-profile heel moment for Breakker, who lost the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania 41 in April. It's only a matter of time before this incredibly talented, incredibly strong second-generation star headlines Mania. He will be a foundational star for the WWE. I could not agree more. This dude, young, a beast, powerful, very athletic. Definitely, you can definitely tell that's Rick Steiner's son. And not only that, just like the charisma, being able to play a face, being able to play a heel. Mainly, I think he should stay a heel going forward. I'm not saying that he can't be a face, but I think he should stay a heel. I really think he should stay a heel for the biggest portion of his career. Dude is a beast. And him aligned with Paul Heyman is going to do wonders for him. You know, he's already been NXT champion. He's already been Intercontinental champion. I mean, just honestly, the sky's the limit for Bron Breakker. And he's already been having great feuds and matches. And, you know, especially duking it out with the likes of CM Punk and Roman Reigns. And just, it's amazing. It's amazing. He's only going to grow more and more. Glenn says, I just hope WWE doesn't lame Blake Monroe down. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, she hasn't been champion that long, so we'll see what they do with that. We shall see what they do with that. Okay. All right. We are about to move into the top 5. And while I feel a certain sort of way about these being the top 5, I do kind of get it. I kind of get it. All right, y'all ready for the top 5? Let's do this. Number 5, Tiffany Stratton. Age 26, promotion WWE. Last year's rank 18, so she went up a bunch of ranks. Tiffany Stratton had an unbelievable 2025, winning 24 matches before Stephanie Vaquera ended her almost year-long win streak at Crown Jewel in October. A few weeks later, Stratton lost the WWE Women's Championship to Jade Cargill at Saturday night's main event, a sudden end to an otherwise incredible run. Next year could bring something different for Stratton's character, but one thing's for sure, nobody can deny Stratton's accomplishments in 2025. I have never really been a fan of hers, but I do appreciate her in-ring ability and her athleticism. But I've never been a fan of Tiffany Stratton. I call her the Bimbo Barbie, personally, but I've never really been a fan of Tiffany Stratton. But, hey, good in the ring, though. I will say that. And has an incredible moonsault as well. I will give her that. Okay. Number 4. Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF. Age 29. Promotion AEW. Last year's rank 2. So, went down 2 spots. MJF, a singular performer, a supremely gifted talker who can hang in the ring with the best in the world. So it is only natural that a singular performer had an unrivaled 2025. Who else won a casino gauntlet match for a world title contract, was tricked by AEW World Champion Hangman Adam Page into executing that contract, and then threatening to set Mark Briscoe on fire if Page didn't reinstate that contract? Who else convinced the Hurt Syndicate to make him a member of their team? Who else traveled to Mexico just to defeat and unmask CMLL's Mystico? Who else appeared with the Sandman in Happy Gilmore 2 and is co-starring with a murderous Santa Claus in Violent Night 2? For all these reasons and some incredible matches this year, MJF remains better than you, and you know it. I'm not all that crazy about MJF. I mean, I've met him before. I mean, I've talked some smack to him. He's talked some smack to me. This was at GalaxyCon. Not this year, but last year. I mean, dude's athletic in the ring. I'll give him that, but I don't know. I've had plenty of MJF over the years, so that's all I can really say. Misfit says her peak was the Becky feud. Oh, you talking about Tiffy time? Personally, I find MJF quite boring. Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah, that's very understandable. Yeah. But he'll be back in the picture soon, or at some point. It's probably coming. So, all right, y'all ready for the top 3? The top 3. Being in Happy Gilmore does not mean should be on wrestling. I got nothing in response to that. I don't know. MJF is great when he's actually around, I guess. Number 3. Rhea Ripley. Misfit says ratings tanked when he was champion. Oh, I believe it. I definitely believe it. Yeah, I wasn't too crazy about him as champion. So I definitely believe it. Rhea Ripley, age 29, promotion WWE, last year's rank 4. Oh, so she went up. She went up 1. Okay, Rhea Ripley. ESPN's 2023 Women's Wrestler of the Year, has already compiled a Hall of Fame list of achievements. Before her dominance on the WWE main roster as a 3-time Women's World Champion, Ripley reigned supreme in NXT and NXT UK, securing both of their women's championships as well. You've made it when The Undertaker shares in your championship celebration, as he did when Ripley captured the Women's World Championship on Raw, on the Raw Netflix premiere in January. I mean, Rhea Ripley. What can I say? Rhea Ripley has really gotten her Hall of Fame achievements started rather early. And honestly, showing no signs of stopping. I mean, she's already a Grand Slam champion, which it seems like it didn't take long for her to become a Grand Slam champion. Honestly, and I mean, she's won a Royal Rumble. I mean, realistically, unless they want to have her win a Money in the Bank or win the U.S. title or Intercontinental title, I mean, Rhea has pretty much done just about everything there is to do in the WWE. I mean, to be honest with you, like, I really don't know what's next for Rhea. But she's definitely a star and will continue to be a star. Glenn says, why Tony Khan hasn't reunited the Dynasty is a mystery for all ages. Do we really need the Dynasty reunited? Do we really need that, though? Misfit says, Rhea, I don't have a problem being in the top 5. She's a great 2025 with 2 Match of the Year contenders. Rhea, one of the very people to have beaten all 4 horsewomen. That is correct. And yeah, I mean, Rhea, like I said, like, Rhea has done so much. NXT, NXT UK. I mean, she was the first UK women's champion. And just, you know, dethroning Shayna Baszler to win the NXT women's title. I mean, honestly, just, I'm not too sure what's next for her. Because, I mean, she's done so much and hasn't even hit 30 yet. So, no shock that she's number 3. No shock at all. Okay, number 2. Number 2, the protostar, former AEW TNT champion, Kyle Fletcher. Age, 26. Promotion, AEW. Last year's rank was number 8, so he got bumped up quite a bit. Okay. Fletcher had a monster 2025, riding the wave of momentum from last year after an injury to his Aussie Open tag team partner, Mark Davis, left him as a singles wrestler. Already an exceptional talent, the protostar took his game to another level, starting with the decimation of Dustin Rhodes in a street fight to become the AEW TNT champion. Between his improved promo skills and ability to wrestle just about any style of match or opponent, Fletcher has everything you'd ask for in a pro wrestler. If you're looking for a match to understand why he's main event material, watch his losing effort to the AEW World Champion Hangman Adam Page at All Out in September. I mean, Kyle Fletcher has really been on a tear since becoming more of a focused singles wrestler. And, you know, I'll always be a fan of Aussie Open. Aussie Open, awesome. And at least it's good to see Mark Davis is back. He's with the Don Callis family. It's at least good to see that he's back. But honestly, Kyle Fletcher has been on a tear since becoming mainly a singles wrestler. And honestly, yes, he lost the TNT championship, but honestly, he's pretty much ready to really be mainly focused in that AEW World Championship realm. So yeah. Definitely really makes a lot of sense seeing Kyle Fletcher on this list, but also seeing how he's gone up to number 2. I mean, many may argue against it, but in all honesty, I can understand. I can definitely understand him being number 2. So yeah. I can definitely dig it. Japanese women's wrestling movement. Rhea may be dominant, but one thing she can't do is truly beat Io Sky. Well, not yet. But you know it's eventually going to happen. It's eventually going to happen. Let's keep it real. It's eventually going to happen. Hey, Asuka eventually lost. So you best believe Io is going to eventually lose to Rhea as well. So let's just keep it real. Misfit says yet. Yes, the key word is yet. The key word is yet. It's eventually going to happen. But you best believe it's eventually going to happen. Japanese women's wrestling movement, it's eventually going to happen. Let's not fool ourselves. Okay, y'all ready for the number one? The number one, well... number one, who was actually number one last year as well, keeps his number one rank for this year, and it's Dirty Dominic Mysterio. That's right. Dirty Dominic Mysterio holds on to his number one spot. Age 28. Promotion WWE. The son of Rey Mysterio has fully stepped out of his father's shadow, holding down the top spot for the second year in a row with his ever-improving in-ring ability and magnificent work on the microphone. Dominic has carved his own path in pro wrestling. He spent 2025 entering the so bad he's good stage of his career, where he routinely gets the biggest crowd reaction, positive or negative, at arenas. He's the bad guy everyone loves to hate and took his craft to the next level by holding the WWE Intercontinental and AAA Mega Championship titles simultaneously, appearing in both promotions throughout the year. Although he lost the Intercontinental Championship to John Cena on November 10th on Raw, Dominic hasn't lost momentum. He has become the perfect professional wrestler and a stellar heel who can't get enough of taking pot shots at his father, while routinely suggesting that his real father is the late great Eddie Guerrero. With Rey now in his 50s, it only makes sense that his son will eventually be the one who sends him into retirement. Ooh, I mean, it's I don't know. I mean, it's a fair argument, and the dude, say what you want about him, but the dude gets mega crowd reaction, good and bad. I mean, he sets foot in AAA, oh, they eat it up. He sets foot in WWE, they eat it up. So, I mean, in all honesty, I mean, it's a fair assessment. It's a fair assessment. I mean, I'm not too sure who I would put at number one personally. He's not somebody I would put at number one, but I mean, you know. Glenn says, well, Dirty Dom's only got one more year to top the list at least. Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he'll hold number one next year, but I don't think he'll drop down. I don't think he'll drop down a lot of levels. And you know, with him having a presence in AAA, I think we'll see a lot more of that as well. I think we'll definitely see a lot more of that. But yeah, that's your 30 under 30 list for this year, courtesy of ESPN. But yeah, it's quite a list. Quite a list. Right on, right on. Okay. And to finish off, wanted to talk a little bit about Wrestlecade coming up this weekend. Of course, It's every Thanksgiving weekend, for the last number of years. And this will be I want to say my fifth or sixth Wrestlecade. I've lost count, but I highly suggest for any and all pro wrestling fans to check out Wrestlecade. It's at the Benton Convention Center in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Only about not too far from me, but definitely looking forward to this year's Wrestlecade. And I've already pre-purchased some meet and greets. So the meet and greets that I've pre-purchased that I'm looking really forward to meeting, Kazuchika Okada, Priscilla Kelly, aka Gigi Dolan. Let's see, Indy Hartwell, Jushin Thunder Liger, that's a big one. Lacey Lane, Casey Catanzaro, aka Kaden Carter Katana Chance. Willow Nightingale, Nixon Newell, Tekla. I missed my opportunity to meet Tekla in Vegas, so I'm glad she got confirmed for Wrestlecade. I'm not going to miss my opportunity, so pre-purchase for Tekla as well. The Rascals. I missed opportunities with the Rascals, so pre-purchase them. Looking forward to that. And the Hurt Syndicate. And when I said the Rascals, I meant Desmond Xavier, Trey Miguel, and Zachary Wentz. Would be nice if Myron Reed was there, to get all four. But it's okay. 3 out of the 4, still really good. And the Hurt Syndicate, it's all 3 members. MVP, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin. I have met Shelton Benjamin already, but, definitely wanted to take an opportunity to meet the Hurt Syndicate. Of course. There are other names on this list. They didn't offer pre-purchase opportunities, but I'm hoping to get a chance to meet these. But would be cool to meet Isla Dawn. She's only $50 for a combo. Sin Cara. Let's see. Chris Bay. Chris Bay is going to be there. I definitely want to take the chance to meet him. Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter's going to be there. Cedric Alexander, I have met him before. I actually met him and Big Swole together back in Philly last year. But it would be cool to meet him again. But he's not a high priority. Andy says, hopefully Indy has a bigger line than WrestleCon. Nobody call Mina. I thought about Mina. Now, Mina will be there for Wrestlecade, but I've already met Mina twice. But I did think about meeting her a third time and letting her know. Because last year I met her at last year's Wrestlecade, and that was when I told her about how I was going to be visiting Japan for the first time. So part of me is thinking maybe I should do another meet and greet with her and let her know how my trip to Japan went. So you know what? I might consider that. I might actually consider that. So, but, there's so many names on this list. Just to give y'all an idea of other guests that are going to be on there, Sting is going to be there. Trish Stratus, Lita, the Hardy Boys, AJ Francis, MJF, Arn Anderson, Buff Bagwell, Christopher Daniels, Carlito, let's see, Raven and Raven's Flock is going to be there. Paul White, the Honky Tonk Man, Braun Strowman, Killer Cross and Scarlett, Perry Saturn, Carrie and Ricky Morton, Deonna Purrazzo, Earl Hebner. I mean, it's a lot of names. Frankie Kazarian, George South, Heath Slater, Harley Cameron, the APA, Jake the Snake Roberts, good old JR, Jerry the King Lawler, Jerry Lynn, Jillian Hall, Jimmy Hart. I mean, a lot of names. Kane. Coco Beware. Kevin Nash is going to be there. Carmella, The Inspiration, Lex Luger, Magnum TA, Speedball Mike Bailey, Matt Riddle, Moose, Matt Cardona, Mina Shirakawa, Nick Nemeth, Brodito, Nikita Koloff, Rob Van Dam, Sandman, Santino Marella, Saraya, Sergeant Slaughter, Shane Douglas, Shotzi Blackheart, Steve Corino, Powerhouse Hobbs, Sonny Ono, Swoggle, Tessa Blanchard, The Good Brothers, Tito Santana, Athena, Thunder Rosa, Vampiro, Willow Nightingale, Zaya Brookside, Mr. Kennedy, Zilla Fatu, Cora Jade. A lot of names on here. Allie and Rosemary. Chris Statlander, Kylie Ray. Izzy Moreno, Jasmine Allure, Rick Steiner, Tony Schiavone. So, just some examples there. Andy says, I met Trish Stratus in Las Vegas in April, and she was one of the kindest people. Highly recommend meeting her if you haven't before. Oh, Trish? I met her actually years ago back at Raleigh SuperCon. That was before it became GalaxyCon. But yeah, Trish Stratus, really, really awesome. Still very beautiful. But yeah, Trish Stratus, the really cool thing was during her Q&A session, she really opened it up for people to really suggest who she should have a match with. And I suggested Asuka, and many other people agreed. So, I mean, hey, maybe someday. But, you know, and, you know, she could probably still do a little something in the ring. She could probably do a little something. But, yeah, check it out. But, yeah, that was 2018. But, yeah, had to take advantage of the opportunity to meet her. But, yeah, she was really awesome. Really, really awesome. And enjoyed her Q&A session as well. Japanese women's wrestling movement. I'm wondering when Noah will request to WWE for Io Sky to challenge for the GHC women's title if Mayu Iwatani wins the title. Get Mayu versus Io once again if Takumi still has the title. Wait, what? It sounds like what you're saying is you want Mayu to win the GHC Women's Championship and then Io to challenge for it? Like, okay, you do understand how pointless that would be, right? Think about it. Okay, first off, you know Io's not going to win that belt. There's no reason for her to win that belt. Because where is she going to defend it? What, is she going to defend it on WWE? Like, bro, they don't even have a partnership. Like, yeah, they've had NXT talent over there. You know, they've had like the Josh Briggs, and yeah, I know they had Omos there, but it's like, bro, there's literally no point for Io to challenge for that title. Because you know she's not going to win it. Not to mention, it's Io versus Mayu Iwatani. It doesn't have to have a title on the line. They're going to deliver, period. Title or no title. Like, I mean, it's a nice little dream scenario, but it doesn't make any sense, bro. It's a scenario that doesn't really make any sense. Misfit says, Io literally said it was their last singles match against each other. And, you know, if anything, they're going to be teaming up at some point. Or at least that's what I'm thinking. Misfit says, Hank and Tank just won the GHC tag titles. Yep, and then they lost them right back to Team 2000X. They had them for a very, very, very short amount of time, and then they just lost them right back to Team 2000X. Let's see. Michael Gorman, welcome to the stream. Next year, 17 years attending convention, plans for more idea trips that I'm looking towards. Dang, 17 years, that's a lot. It's a lot. Definitely adds up. There's Hank and Tank. So there's that. Hey, I like Hank and Tank. I like Hank and Tank. I felt like they had a decent NXT tag title reign. Michael says, I'm going to get VIP for GalaxyCon next year. I'm most likely not doing GalaxyCon next year because I'm going to be focused on Japan round 2. Yeah, I'm going to do Japan round 2. Alaska was a wonderful trip for me this year. Oh, I remember you did mention that. That's good that you had fun. Have a nice time at Wrestlecade. I plan to. I definitely plan to. Should be awesome. Should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to those meet and greets. And I will also, so there's a couple of events as well at Wrestlecade. Here, let me talk a little bit about the events. So, the schedule. So, let's see. And I have a 3-day ticket. It's not a VIP ticket, but I have a 3-day ticket. So, they got a couple of different events. They got a Vampiro Q&A on Friday, Lunch with Legends, Leilani Kai and Judy Martin on Friday, Legacy Woven with Georgia Smith. And then you got some meet and greets on Friday as well. Tony Schiavone Q&A, Tag Team Turmoil, discussion of a panel about tag team wrestling. Ooh. Interesting, okay. Wrestle Feast with Baby Doll, Missy Hyatt, Brandywine, Goldilocks. Ooh, I guess that's dinner. Misfit says, I'm making a huge prediction. Kabuki Warriors versus Thunder Rock at WrestleMania 42. Oh man, that's bold. That is bold. But they got to build it up well. They gotta build it up well, especially if it's gonna be a one-off. They better build the mess out of it. That's all I can say. Fourth Rope Pro Wrestling Friday night, which I do have a ticket to that. I'm actually going to be attending that. That should be a lot of fun. Hornswoggle and surprise guests live. Looks like he's doing a comedy show. And then Saturday Fan Fest, big meet and greet session, pretty much all day, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Then you got the Wrestlecade Super Show. That's the big show in the evening time. That should be really fun. The Hardy Party on Saturday as well. It's gonna be Q&A and music. George South has a worship service on Sunday. Stories from the Power Plant panel. More meet and greet sessions on Sunday. The Ladies Night Out show on Sunday. That should be really good. I'm going to be attending that. And then they got AML Wrestling the day after. I may or may not attend that. Still up in the air. I might attend it. I'm still up in the air about it. But yeah, like, still looking forward to the show, or to this event. I'll be there all 3 days. Benton Convention Center in Winston-Salem. Wrestlecade 2025. And should be a fun time. I can't wait to do all the meet and greets. I'm just happy that I was able to pre-purchase a whole bunch of them. So, should be a lot of fun. But anyway, it's getting late. I want to thank everybody for coming out and chatting it up. We talked a lot. I mean, pro wrestling tournament season is alive and well, and it's a lot to look forward to. Went over that 30 for 30 or 30 under 30 list, which I will add. I'll put the link in the description. I'll edit this and I'll put the link in the description so anybody can take a look at it. But I'm gonna do another recap tomorrow for the Goddess of Stardom Tag League, and then I'll probably go ahead and do my predictions for Survivor Series, because right now it's only 4 matches. I don't know if there will be a 5th match, but it's looking like 4 matches. So yeah. Andy says it would be cool if WrestleCon did more panels like that, but I guess there's already so much going on that weekend. Yeah, that is a good point. It would be nice if they did panels and whatnot, but I think the main highlights are the meet and greets and the WrestleCon Super Show or the Memorial Show. So, Mister says if Rhea versus Stephanie is the plan, then Asuka, Io, and Kairi should not be left off of Mania. Yeah, I can dig that. I can understand that. Happy Thanksgiving to you, my friend. Enjoy your holiday weekend. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well, Andy. And I'll be in touch. You know the deal. I'm not too far. So, definitely have fun. Eat aplenty. But yeah, I should be good to do another video recap on Goddess Stardom Tag League, see how these standings look after tomorrow, and give some predictions on Survivor Series War Games. I know this weekend I'm going to have to do a lot of catching up because I'll be at Wrestlecade, so, but still going to order the Stardom pay-per-view, and yeah. It's going to be good. It's going to be awesome. Anyway, for those that catch this, let me know y'all's thoughts on each of the tournaments, the 30 under 30 list, and if you'll be at Wrestlecade, let me know and come find me. Would love to hear from y'all. Let's see. Japanese Women's Wrestling Movement says, if Maya Iwatani shows up in WWE for a little run, the only issue is that many WWE only fans won't know her history. They don't know Thunder Rock, and maybe around 60% of WWE fans only watch WWE. Yeah, I mean, that's a thing. I mean, not everybody watches outside of WWE, so that's always going to be a risk. So, I mean, my thing is, it may or may not happen. If it does, great. If it doesn't, great. I mean, at the end of the day, if fans really want to know, they should get off their lazy butts and do their research. That's all I can really say. But that's just me. And on that note, I'll end with that. Don't forget to like, follow, comment, subscribe, all of the above. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I hope y'all enjoyed this live stream. For another live pro wrestling talk, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming. My name is Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. Hope everybody enjoys the rest of their evening and day tomorrow. And if I don't see y'all again, hope everybody has a blessed and happy Thanksgiving. Safe travels to all those that'll be traveling, whether it's short distance or long distance. I pray that everybody gets to their destination safely and find everything well. Enjoy time spent with your family and friends, and enjoy your Thanksgiving. I will see y'all in the next video and our live stream. Later.